All right, guys, this is our second video for Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day 2021. I'm in a leprechaun kind of mood here. I'm gonna make a video describing what I would do for the auctions and the opening lead and the general declare play plan thoughts for the hands from last night, Tuesday night, March 16th. These are common game and RBC hands. And yeah, we'll just have some fun and not rush through this. This will be a slower video. And the idea would be, I think the most effective way you could use this tool is probably to look at the boards you had trouble from last night and, just skip to the parts in the video where I talk about those hands. They'll be in order from board 1 through 22. The open game played 22 boards. The limited game played 18. So we'll discuss these 22 boards and hopefully learn some cool stuff, or watch me be silly in my betting. So share the screen at this point. And yeah, let's go. So quick disclaimer, I am not suggesting that this is necessarily what you have to do. I'm just kind of trying to imagine myself being in all four of the seats, and I'm as full of it as anyone is. So if you don't agree with what I'm doing, there's a reasonable chance that I'm off my rocker. But anyway, no more lawyerese. South is going to open a spade. It is a pass, followed by forcing. No trump. I actually like to play semi-forcing. One no trump response is to one of a major. And that should get you to think, well, semi-forcing, like what hands would opener be passing? Opener is only passing with 5-3-3-2 minimums, like 11 to 14 with 5-3-3-2 shape, which has some neat consequences. It now means that if opener rebids 2 of a minor, it's a real suit, right? It's at least a 4-card suit. So semi-forcing is what I prefer. It's my video, so I'll cry if I want to. East has no business getting in here with that ratty club suit. North is going to rebid 2 spades to show the one-suited minimum type nature of the hand, and that's going to be the end of the auction. If we talk about what West is going to lead, he's got 2 queen-jack combinations. The heart looks safer just because it has the 9. So Queen of Hearts seems like a standout lead to me. Do I need one more pass? No. Why can't I lead the Queen of Hearts? Oh, because I screwed up the auction. Right. Let's go back to this. I had a dyslexic kind of auction there. Let's have North pass and East pass. Not quite enough to open a club, although if you're thinking about opening on that hand, that's probably thinking along the right lines if you think it's close. So now we have a spade, and everyone in the world would play that a no trump is semi-forcing now by a passed hand. And South would rebid 2 spades. And at this point, we'd have 3 passes followed by the Queen of Hearts. We're going to count our tricks. We have Ace King of Hearts. We have the Ace of Diamonds for 3, and we have however many trumps we can get. I want to play the trumps from the dummy once, such that if East had both spade honors, or if East had honor doubleton of spades, I would be able to pick up the spade suit potentially with only one loser. The other place I can get a trick is if I could lead clubs twice and East had the jack of clubs. That would be a trick. So I have 2 entries to the north hand, and I would need both of them to bring off the club play. So the idea is we'd lead a club to the 9, and if that forced out the king or the ace, we would lead a club to the 8, and then our queen would be good. And that actually seems like a higher percentage use of my entries to play clubs twice. And that would be my plan on the hand. Let's talk through the match points here too. So the club was off for me, which meant I ended up taking 4 spades, 2 hearts, the ace of diamonds. I think maybe the defense messed up here. If we look at the score slip, you'll see that getting any plus score here, like going plus, is worth 60% of the match points. Then getting from 80 to 110 was actually 85% of the match points. We did well. Almost everyone played 2 spades on this hand. Looks like a couple of people were somehow passed in 1 spade. If you're north, like, you need to respond to 1 spade here. You've got too much hand, and you need to protect your partner's like 20 and 21 point hands that they might be opening a spade. So definitely north needs to chirp after it goes pass, pass, a spade, pass. All right, next board. 13 yucky balance still opens a diamond. 4, 8, 10, 12, 13 balanced passes. There's just nothing to do. West passes. I suppose there's some argument to be made for, like, if you're playing inverted minors here, to bidding 3 diamonds. 4, 4, 3, 2 seems a little misguided, but you are white against red, and there's a very, very high likelihood that your opponents have a spade fit. So I think I'm actually potentially talking myself into the merits of bidding 3 diamonds here. And only because of this vulnerability, and because I can predict that unless my partner has 4 spades, the opponents definitely have some values and a spade fit. Yeah, I'll be a good citizen and just have West pass here. So North reopens with a takeout double. East and West are both done. And by the way, like, if you were going to feel like this auction is completely predictable, if you're sitting West and you're going to feel like raising diamonds after we allow our left-hand opponent to make a takeout double, you're doing it wrong. You should have anticipated this would happen and have been willing to bid 3 preemptive diamonds on the first round. Okay, so I guess the only point is, like, pick a course of action and stay consistent with it. Don't get caught in the middle, like where you're passing the first time and then you're bidding later, because either go aggressive on the first round or go conservative on the first round and then be done with it. Okay, and the idea is, if you're going to bid the amount of diamonds that you think is going to put the most pressure on your opponents. Here, that would be, assuming playing inverted minors, that would be 3 diamonds. All right. South has a good hand with 4 spades and a triple stopper in diamonds. I think what I actually like here is jumping to 2 no trump. Should be invitational with a diamond stopper, and probably like values that are just below the strength to overcall 1 no trump the first time. You want to be giving your partner some leeway here, since he's in the balancing seat, might not have, traditional takeout double values. So I think 2 no trump is probably the right idea here with this hand. And if North appreciates that he could have less than this, and that his partner shouldn't be stretching to bid thin games at pairs, I kind of think he has a pretty clear raise to 3 no trump. So that's the auction that 4 of me would have. And if I am West here, I think I'm just going to lead a 4th best diamond. See any reason not to do that. And what are my tricks looking like here? I have 3 diamonds. I have 3 clubs potentially. I've got different ways I could play the club suit, like I finesse for the 10 on the 3rd round, or I could play for a 3-3 drop. But there's possibilities. There's certainly 2 club tricks. And looks like I'm going to be able to set up 3 spade tricks once that finesse loses. You'll also notice that you are missing 15 points as north-south. And remember, back to the auction, West passed a 1 diamond opening. So we pretty much know that all the stuff is on our right. So I think the idea here is that I'm glad they haven't led hearts, for one thing. that might not have been great for us. I think the idea is when we're in the dummy, we're going to lead clubs towards our hand, potentially diamonds towards our hand. And at some point, we're just going to take a losing, what we expect to be a losing spade finesse. So let's walk through this. All right, so I'm in the south hand. I would play the queen of spades. At some point, East is going to win that. He's going to look for the most passive exit possible. That's probably just a small diamond. I don't see any reason not to take that finesse. We can now enter the dummy with one of our spades and then lead clubs towards the queen jack. So we've got 2 in, 3 spades is 5, a heart is 6, and we're eventually going to come to a diamond and 3 clubs for 10, I believe. They're just going to take, let's see, 3 clubs, 3 diamonds is 6, ace of hearts is 7, 3 spades is 10. The tricks that my opponents are getting are the king of clubs and a heart at some point. Yep, let's make sure that makes sense with the double dummy here. Yep, if I lead a spade to the dummy, you'll see that it's got a green 1, which means 1 over trick. And if we look at what the common game had for this, let's see how many tricks spades was making. View records in PDF. So it's hand 2, spades was making 4, no trump is making 3. So actually on a double dummy standpoint, from a double dummy standpoint, we would want to be in spades instead of 3 no trump, I guess. I have a feeling that getting to any old game here is going to be worth a lot. Let's look at the score slip. My table. Other tables. Yeah, if you get to a game here, like only 3 pairs out of 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the open game. So only 27% of the field bid a game. And if you make 3 no trump, you'll see it's going to be tied for top. If you bid and make 4 spades, it's going to be 80%. So I think a game that definitely North-South can get to here. Yeah. Notice too, I guess here that there was a lot of appreciating ranges going on. Like South didn't just up and jump to 3 no trump to give North some leeway for being in the balancing chair. And then North reasoned similarly that he might have less than the 3 aces he had to be balancing. And therefore, if his partner's inviting, he probably has an accept. The other key piece of information to appreciate is that South shouldn't be doing this on, like, shouldn't be stretching to bid 2 no trump. 2 no trump should be completely serious. It should basically be, I have the hand that was just shy of being able to overcall a no trump, and that's what he's got. One last point, I guess, is the decision to bid no trump instead of spades here. I would just kind of always do that with a flat hand and a triple stopper in the suit that was bid on my right, rather than trying to play a suit contract here. All right, moving on to board 3. We have a pass, and we have 16 balanced with 5, 4, 2, 2. You have the 5 is a minor, the 4 is not spades. I suggest you open these hands 1 no trump. North is balanced. Balanced hands don't compete over 1 no trump. And East is just going to use Stamen. Find out that his partner doesn't have a 4-card major. I don't think there's any point in North doubling diamonds here. First of all, his diamonds aren't that great. Second of all, he's probably going to be on lead, so I don't think there's any need to do anything other than pass. So I would be playing Smolin here, which means that with my 5-4 major hands, I'm going to jump to 3 of the 4-card suit, and I will alert it in the box. You need to be alerting these. I'm going to jump to my 4-card suit. It implies 5 in the other suit. This is called Smolin. West would bid 3 no trump, saying, I don't have a fit for either of your suits. It would go 3 passes. And I don't see any reason not to just lead forth from my longest and strongest here. This is an auction type where you can lead a minor because we know that there are 9 major cards in the dummy. So the bias towards our having major suit length is gone when we know that 9 of them are in the dummy. And I just lead the 4 diamonds. As declare here, it looks like my plan is, or my trick count is 4 hearts, the ace of spades, some undetermined number of clubs, and at least 2 diamonds, maybe 3 if something good happens. I think my plan here is just to lead, let's see, we have 1, 2, we don't have a whole lot of convenient entries to the dummy to lead clubs. I could stick up the jack of diamonds and try to get an entry there. Yeah, so I think that's the idea here. I'm going to go up jack of diamonds, that's going to hold. I'm going to leave a club to the 10, that's going to lose. They're going to play something back, and eventually I'm going to use one of my entries to take the club finesse again. I'm going to end up with 4, 2, 4, 1. Looks like 11 tricks, and the defense is going to take the ace of diamonds and the king of clubs. So how would we be doing with 660 by West? Uh, 660 by West would be 75%. And again, like maybe it's just me, but I think you learn a whole lot, like both about how the scoring works and like what's worth going for and what's not, and like how aggressive other people are, all that sort of stuff, by taking some time to study the score slips. Funny story. When I first got into bridge, it was like 97 maybe. And once a week, there was this kind of shady guy from church who would he would drive me to Chillicothe, Ohio. It was like an hour to that game, and it was, you know, I'd play with him or I'd play with somebody else, and it was just like the thing I looked forward to all week long. It was that period after college where I was having trouble finding a job. I was living with mom and dad, just dying to get out of there, but couldn't get hired anywhere. Because I kept on being honest in interviews instead of realizing that was a game also. Anyway, one of the things I loved doing was, that was back in the day of paper score slips, like they got stuck in the boards and passed around. In fact, like we've only been in the age of bridge mates for the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. So probably a lot of people remember the score slips. Anyway, I would ask the director after he finished manually scoring up all the boards if I could take the score slips home with me. And I would literally like sit there at the kitchen table and just look at the score slips and like look at the contracts that were reached and compare them with my private score. So I've spent a lot of time looking at score slips in my life, and now you can just do it all virtually. Anyway, welcome to Lance, age 22. Not enough to open. Tempted, but not enough. Let's see. Loser count on the north hand is 1.5, 3.5, 6.5. Oh, I'm pretty tempted to open this hand, and I don't want to open it 2 hearts, but I do want to chirp. I think I've talked myself into opening a heart on this. If you run and tell the ACBL that I'm opening these hands a heart, I'm gonna be pissed. Second choice is pass, but I think I'm a 1 heart opener. All right, to the east hand with a pile of high card points, a pile being 20 here. Yeah. So I think the general plan with 20 balanced and a stopper in their suit is to double and then bid the cheapest number of no trump. You are too strong for a 1 no trump overcall. All right, so it goes double. As south, I would definitely want to jam the auction. And 3 hearts here should be preemptive. Slightly concerned that I'm vulnerable, but I do have a 9 card fit and a singleton, hand that plays well on offense, not so well on defense. I'm going to bid 3 hearts with that and have it be preemptive, which begs the question, what would you do if you had a good hand with hearts here? A good hand with hearts would bid 2 no trump, which is called Jordan 2 no trump. And it just shows a limit raise or better in an offensive-oriented hand for partner. If you had a good hand without a fit for partner, this is where you would use your redouble to show 10 plus points and a balanced hand, and a hand that was interested in defending. All right, so all this being said, I think Wes now has a very clear jump to 4 spades. And it would go pass by North. Don't even think about doubling. Your partner has nothing. And now you're sitting as East, like, holy smokes. You know, I've got 7 or 8 points more than I might have. Against that, like, the ace, queen, 10 of hearts sort of doesn't rate to be worth all that much because I know the opponents have hearts and my partner's short in hearts. So those are devalued. I also don't love the fact that, like, I don't have aces in the minors. So I have more like soft values here. And I think I would be content passing 4 spades. I'm a little worried to bid Blackwood or Q bid and have us potentially get too high. So even though I feel like I've got some extra values here, I think I'm reluctantly passing. And let's see how we do in 4 spades. We get rewarded for being conservative because we are off the ace of diamonds and a trump trick. And it looks like we are making, making 5 here. Does the hand record agree with me? This is board 4. East, west, 5 spades, yep. So what would 5 spades have gotten us? 5 spades would get us 70% of the match points. On to board 5. Oh, do we open 3 hearts or not? I hate the vulnerability. I hate the suit. I think I'm a passer. I do like the first seat nature of it because you're getting better odds that you're stealing from the correct side. But this suit quality, like, it's just not my idea of a preempt. I realize that maybe I'm too tight on these. Maybe I'm not opening preempts and causing my opponents problems enough. But like, I just don't think the offense to defense and the vulnerabilities here for a 3 heart bid. Okay, 13 balanced opens a club. As south, you have a hand that would normally maybe overcall 1 diamond, but when your partner is a passed hand, you can potentially afford to make a jump overcall on a wide range of hands. Any hand where, like, you don't think that there's a game possible, and I sort of don't once my partner passes. Like, do I really think there's 11 tricks in diamonds or 9 tricks in no trump before they get 5? No. So I would be willing to jump overcall here. And I think I'm willing to risk 3 diamonds, even with the vulnerability. So, like, vulnerability considerations in mind, can 3 diamonds really be all that weak here? No. Okay, because you're announcing to your opponents, like, if you just want to double me and beat me 2 tricks, that would be 500. That's more than the value of your game at this particular vulnerability. So really 3 diamonds, like, I just wouldn't think of it as preemptive as much as I would think of it as tactical, right? It's, for whatever reason, he's willing to gamble that 3 diamonds is going to cause us more problems than passing, but yet it's still got to have some element of safety. Otherwise, we could just double him and get our 500 or our 800 or our 1100, which more than compensates for the value of our game. So let's say bid 3 diamonds. I think we had the same auction, right? And I bid 3 diamonds. My table and board 5. Yep, my partner laid off the 3 heart preempt as well, and it went a club, and I bid 3 diamonds. Okay, back to this. As West, what would I do? I think I'm at. Yeah. This is a tough one. This is why you preempt, to put people in tough spots here, like here. Do I have enough to negative double is the thing. I'm not too worried about playing a 4-3 heart fit. I'm torn between bidding 4 clubs and making a negative double. And I think if I'm willing to commit to 4 clubs anyway, I might as well make a negative double with this hand. So just go double, pass. East bids 3 spades. Pass. And do you want to go ahead and bid the game with this or not? I think I do. It's 2.5 losers, 3.5, 5, 7. I've got a double fit in both black suits. I don't have anything wasted in South's diamond suit. I think this is close, but I'm going to go ahead and bid 4 spades with it. And we'll see how we do. One thing to keep in mind is when there's a preempt at the table, often the suits aren't breaking very friendly, and that would tend to lead you to be slightly more conservative. So I'm really okay with passing the West hand or raising to 4 spades. I think this is super close. And it turns out you're actually off 4 top tricks. Like they can get the ace king of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the ace of diamonds. If they cash them in order, perhaps there would be some amount of untangling to do, but there's not going to be this time because South is just going to lead the singleton heart and get a ruff, and we still have at least 2 tricks on the side. So this would have been a hand for going low. Our plus 50 was worth only 35%. So plus 100 would also be worth 35%. So even if you are in 4 spades down a couple here, you're actually going to get a reasonable board. And 3 spades down 1 would have been 65%. We'll pause the video for a second and get some coffee and be back in just a second. All right, back and moving on to hand 6 here. Pass, followed by 19 balanced opens a diamond. Pass. North should definitely chirp a heart here with a 6-card major. Pass. Continue with your plan of rebidding 2 no trump to show the 18 to 19 balanced. And I would just go ahead and bid 4 hearts with the North hand. And I'm going to lead as passively as possible here, which looks like a low spade from 3 small. Not leading the naked ace suit, not leading away from king empty 4th, and not leading my dry trump. So that happens. As North, I can count probably 6 hearts unless they break 4-0. Spade is 7. The ace of diamonds is 8. If I can get the club guess right, so I'm going to have to guess whether to play my right-hand opponent. That would be West for the queen of clubs or the ace of clubs. And I could potentially ruff a club in the dummy, but that would be with one of the high trumps. So unless they break 2-2, that's not going to be possible. I know that the ace of spades is on my right now because my left-hand opponent wouldn't have underled the ace of spades here. What's this all getting me? This is all getting me a problem is what it's getting me. I think that diamonds is actually probably the suit I want to attack. So let's see how this play might go. Put up the king. West wins the ace. West looking at this board. Probably just play back a spade. Doesn't really look like we need to get active in the defense. Guess I'd go ahead and cash 2 hearts to see what's going on there. See if my potential plan of roughing a club is going to work. No, it's not. So at this point, I would go ahead and lead a diamond. And by the way, like most of the Wests here, if they have the king, they're going to take it. It's probably the wrong play a lot of the times. Probably just second hand low is right. But I'm here to tell you, like, most Wests are going to pop the king if they've got it. So when it goes small, you want to play West for the jack, not the king. The way we play him for the jack is by playing the 9. That goes king. There's no reason not to just lead another spade. We rough that. We go ahead and lay down the queen of diamonds to unblock it. Cross to the heart. And we're going to get super lucky in the diamond suit. The jack's going to fall. So the ace-10 of diamonds will dispose of 2 of our clubs, and the defense will get a club in the end for making 420. And if we go to the score slip again, picture Lance on a Wednesday afternoon in Hillsboro, Ohio, sitting at the kitchen table amongst the folded laundry, pouring through the scraps of paper to figure out what other tables played that day at the bridge game in Chillicothe. 6. So other tables. 420 would be worth 85% on this board. I don't think there was anything the defense could have done here. No, board 6, 4 hearts. Okay. Let's actually see what it would have been worth if we didn't bid the game. 2 hearts making 4 would be 40%. So you get 40% for the first 170 points, and then you get another 45% for bidding the game. So this was actually a deal where it was kind of important to bid the game. And we've got 12 balanced. Please open these hands. It's a club. West probably just overcalls a heart. You could probably make some argument for doubling first and then bidding hearts. But I think I like just a calm 1 heart. As North, I'm passing. If I weren't vulnerable, I'd be pretty tempted to bid a preemptive 3 clubs. Here, I think I'm just going to be quiet. And again, like, don't pass here and then come back in with a club raise later. Either do it now or don't do it. But be courageous. Like, either commit to passing or to raising clubs, but don't let them have a free ride on the way. Like, that's cowardly. So East can continue with the spade here. And I think probably a pretty simple agreement to have in your partnerships is that new suits by a previously unpassed hand are forcing. You could also play it as non-forcing constructive. Either way, like, East ought to have a reasonable hand for advancing an overcall here. And then West, having heard this, I think can just about go ahead and jump to 4 hearts. Seems right to me. Followed by 3 passes. You can never lose the postmortem if you lead partner's suit. And as West, I would be thinking, if the trumps are 3-2, I have 7 of those. I have however many spade tricks I can set up. Doesn't look like I have a whole lot of entries to the dummy. If I can get to that dummy, I will have 2 club tricks and 2 spade tricks. That doesn't look super likely to happen. Looks like the ace of diamonds is almost surely on my right because of the auction. So what would I be thinking here? Am I going to go up with the ace of clubs to take the spade finesse and get to 10 tricks, or am I going to duck it and hope that he's going to eventually be end played? I think the right idea is to go ahead and duck it. So let's duck. Goes up 3rd hand high. And let's just say probably plays a trump, right? Seems like the best thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the last couple at trump here. Don't think I need all these spades. Oh, right, he has to find a discard. That's fine. Now the trump being drawn, I'm going to unblock that queen of clubs. And I'm just going to play ace and a spade and hope that this end plays south into giving me a trick in some suit. And it ends up doing just that. Like if he plays a club or a spade at this point, I'm going to be able to dump both my diamonds. So the only thing he can do is cash the ace of diamonds and hold me to 4. And again, if we go to the double dummy, West can make 4 hearts. What would 620 be worth on this hand? My table. Board 7. Other tables. 620 would be worth 65% for East-West. All right. Oh, we have the hand from the first video, so not going to do that again, but suffice it to say, a lot of interesting stuff happens in an eventual contract of like 3-no or 4-no or 6-no. That's, we spent 30 minutes on this hand in the other video today. Looks like a pass followed by a diamond opening. This is not going to be one of those hands that we treat as balanced because this time we have a 5-card minor and we have 4 spades. Do I want to overcall a spade with this? I believe I do. It's the boss suit. It's a good suit. Has a little bit of preemptive value. I am not vulnerable against their vulnerable. As West, you just kind of bid an old-fashioned 2 diamonds here. Show single raise values. Inverted minors are off in competition. If you wanted to show a limit raise plus with diamond support here, you would bid 2 spades. Another important inference to draw here as East is that your partner is very unlikely to hold as many as 4 hearts. Because if he had enough values to bid and he had 4 hearts, you probably would have heard a negative double. North could maybe double for takeout here. I guess this is in the family of responsive doubles, but it's just short in diamonds and can support anything else you want to do. So I think I've kind of talked myself into that. As East, I have a little bit extra length in diamonds. My partner almost surely has 4. I know that the opponents are going to be bidding something at the 2 level, and I'm going to feel like bidding 3 diamonds competitive later on, so let's just go ahead and do it. This is not at all constructive, trying to get to 3-no trump, trying to get to 5 diamonds, none of that stuff. It's just committing to the number of diamonds we're willing to compete to and doing it now instead of letting them exchange information and then competing to 3 diamonds later. South doesn't have anything extra to contribute. And I kind of don't think North does either. They've sort of both bid their hands. There's no 9-card fit for North-South to be competing at the 3 level. And I guess I would go ahead and just lead a small club. That seems like the most passive thing I can do. And as East-West, it looks like we're going to score some number of spade tricks. Do I need to rough a spade in the dummy? Yes, potentially. I can duck the club around to my queen, I think, without hurting anything. It's kind of a free finesse. And I'm going to end up with 5 diamonds, a spade, 2 roughs in the dummy is 8, and 2 clubs is 10. However, they are going to come to the ace of spades, ace, king of hearts, and king of clubs before I get to that. So it looks like making 9 tricks for 110. Next deal. Come back to my table. And board 9. How is 110 doing for East-West? 110 should be doing real well for East-West. 3 diamonds, 110 would have been 85%. Yep. On to the next board. We have 16 balance. That's a super easy 1-no trump opening. Balanced hands don't compete over 1-no trumps. The South has an easy pass. The question is, does North have enough hand to try Stamen here? And I kind of think the answer is yes. And I believe what I'm going to do is, do I want to treat this as a forcing hand or not? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and treat it like a forcing hand, make sure we get to the right strain. So one plan of action would, like, if we use Stamen and partner bids hearts, obviously we're just going to play 4 hearts. If we use Stamen and partner bids something other than 2 hearts, we're going to have 2 paths that we could go down. One would be to bid 2 no trump invitational, and the other would be to bid 3 diamonds forcing and natural. I think that's the road I want to go down. So if it weren't like this sticky matter of trying to figure out what trump should be, I would be more inclined to just invite with this hand. But since it's close and since I get to describe the hand by taking the forcing route, that's what I'm going to do. As 2 clubs pass, East owns up to having spades. West continues with the plan of bidding 3 diamonds. This is natural and forcing, and it suggests that West had 4 hearts, right? Because it doesn't sound like spades was what he was after. East should picture at this point something like 4 hearts and 5 or more diamonds and decide, is there anything I want to bid other than 3 no trump here? I don't see any reason to bid anything other than 3 no. And as South, what would I do? The diamonds and hearts are on my left, the spades are on my right. It looks kind of yucky to lead a club. If I led the hearts, at least I'd be leading through the dummy's length. I think that's what I've talked myself into, is a heart. And normally what I do from bad suits is lead the second highest against no trump. So here that would be the 6 of hearts. If North-South play clubs when they get in with the ace of hearts, what's that end up doing? Let's say they go up ace here. Certainly looks like a club shift is right. I'm going to be lazy and ask my double dummy what a club shift will lead to. And it looks like actually a small club here is necessary. Interesting, right? So you still have the jack and the 10 and the 9 to cover the ace 8x. So if you shift to clubs, you actually need to shift to a small club to beat it here. Let's look at what the score sheet looks like. Oh, and by the way, like the high heart lead here, your partner should never confuse that. Like looking at ace jack third, he should never reason that, that's your 4th best. It just can't be. It had to be a passive lead. And looking at that dummy now, I would certainly want to play a club. If we look at what the score slip looks like here, how much is just going plus worth? Just going plus for East-West is worth 55%. Making 3 no is going to be worth 87% or something like that. And if North-South beats them 1 in 3 no trump, East-West is only going to get 35%. Again, though, like there's a tail there. You certainly shouldn't go down more than 1. And you'll notice that if you get in 3 no and hold it to down 1, it's going to be worth 35%, which obviously isn't great, but it's better than losing your concentration and going down extra tricks and getting something like 5% on the board. So, even when you can tell you're going down, do your best to keep your concentration, and you'd be surprised at how many match points you can salvage by just not letting it be a complete dumpster fire. Again, like try to wean yourself off thinking in terms of binary, like I made the contract or I didn't make the contract. A lot of times over tricks and under tricks matter. Two passes. North is not my idea of a third hand opening. I don't have any suit that I want to draw a partner's attention to. There's less reason for opening a club than if I were in first or second chair. I think I'm just a passer here, actually. East could apply the rule of 15, which says that if it's close in third chair and you're deciding whether to pass out the deal or make your normal opening, a rule of thumb would be to add your high card points. That is 13 here to your spade length, which is 5. You get a total of 18. Anytime that number is 15 or more, I open the bidding. So here it's not actually even that close. But the theory on this rule of 15 would be that like you either want to have high card points, or you want to have compensating spade length, because you can predict if the points are pretty evenly distributed around the table. The tactical thing we want is length in the spade suit, predicting that very often the name of the game is going to be we win a part score battle and declare 2 spades. So anyway, it's not all that close here, but just wanted to walk you through what the process would be after 3 passes. So goes a spade. If you want to make a light takeout double here, given the fact that you're already past hand, it's what, 3, 5.5, 8 losers. I guess I don't have a problem with making a takeout double here. Is this what happened at our table? Let's go to my table. Don't remember. No, I actually passed the first time around, then came back in with a double after it went 2 spades. So, you know, it's close between doubling and passing here. I certainly wouldn't double except for the fact that I'm already a passed hand and like partner just can't get carried away here. And I do have 8 losers, which is 1 fewer than what you would have for an opening hand. I guess probably where I was on this close decision last night was I didn't want to teach a newer player bad habits like making takeout doubles with a 9 count. Anyway, I think no matter what, Wes is going to raise 2 spades here. It's going to go pass, and I think South is still just shrugging and making a takeout double based on the theory that we don't let them play at the 2 level when they want to, when they have an 8 card fit. Our partner must have some values here because they haven't even invited game. So I'd go ahead and make the double again. This looks really weird and silly because we do only have a 9 count, but the opponents have told us that our partner's marked with some values, and we absolutely don't want them to play at the 2 level in a known 8 card fit. So my brother actually hit the home run here. He passed, and we were able to beat 2 spades. A couple of tricks. I'm not sure if she flipped a trick or not. This is board. What board is this? 11. Looks like East-West is supposed to make 1 spade. The other option for North here would be to bid 3 clubs. Keep in mind, if you're North here, like I realize you have 11 points and you're responding to a takeout double, but here your partner couldn't open the bidding. There is 0 need to show any values here. We don't have to like jump to 4 clubs if we're going to bid clubs. We don't have to get super excited and bid 3 no trump. We already have all the information when partner passed his chance as dealer and we passed as third hand after 2 passes. We already have all the information we need that this is not a constructive, this deal is not a constructive concern of ours any longer. So no need to jump in here. If it were a different auction, there might be the need to show values in response to a takeout double. So I guess I would be a 3 club bidder with the North hand. Passed did end up working out spectacularly well. If we go to the other tables and look here, like, all right, getting a plus score for North-South is worth 35%. Getting 100, that would be like 2 spades doubled down 1 or 2 spades undoubled down 2, would be 50%. Getting 300 was a top for us, as it always will be if neither side can make a game. So it looks like selling out to 2 spades and beating at 1, which seems like kind of the mode thing that would happen if we sold out to 2 spades. That would only be worth 35%. So again, that theory that we don't let the opponents play at the 2 level when they want to, when they've shown an 8 card fit, kind of the score slip bears that out here. On to 12. We have a pass followed by 1 diamond opening with 4-4 in the minors. There's 16 with a triple stopper behind it. The world's easiest one, no trump overcall. I took a semi-aggressive action here and doubled for penalty. I liked my hand for opening lead purposes. I liked it for trick-taking purposes, and you know, we should have about half the deck here. I was willing to gamble that we could beat them and increase the stakes here. Looking back on it now, it looks like, it honestly looks a little bit light to me, but fessing up and telling you what I did at the table. And I guess there's a lesson here in that double of their one no trump overcall is penalties, right? Doubling here would not, let's see, if we lead a diamond and get a heart through, are we actually going to beat this? What would happen if it just went double pass, pass, pass? It's probably not going to. Like, West is probably going to transfer to spades, but let's ask the double dummy what I need to lead here. All right, so there's nothing better than just making. So if you do double and they do leave it in, they're just going to score 180 here. Probably it was normal that East-West played a number of spades. Looks like they'll lose a club, a diamond, a couple of hearts, and a spade for making 2. Does that sound about right? Hand record genie. Actually says East-West can make 3 spades, so one of those tricks is going away somewhere. I guess you don't have the time to get to 2 hearts, maybe. Maybe the defense only collects 1 heart. So looking at the score slip, board 12. Uh, 110 would be 45% for East-West. 140 would be 75%. It's another type deal where, you know, the high cards are split pretty evenly, and you can sort of predict that like 40% of the game is just going plus on the board. 10, 11, 14 opens a diamond. If and you want to practice your high card point counting, there is a little .com. There's a little game here called High Card Hunter. You will notice that some weirdo is in 8th place, 9th place on the all-time leaderboard, and some other weirdo is in 2nd. And this is how High Card Point Hunter works. Click to continue, you play, and you just sit here with your keyboard and type in how many points. You could do this all day. Anyway, it's a good little tool for improving your speed on... Oh, stopped sharing accidentally. Let's share again. It's a good little tool for improving your high card point counting speed. Anyway, enough of that segue. Here goes a diamond, pass. 1 no trump is fine. This is 6 to 10 without a 4-card major. And I think everybody's just going to pass. As West, I would be leading either a 4th best spade or the queen of spades. Probably a 4th best spade. That would actually have any spade that you lead is going to let the defense score 3 tricks. Like if you lead the queen, all that South needs to do is let it ride to the ace and then hook you out of the jack on the 2nd round. If you lead the 7, Declare can actually put in the 10 and score an extra spade trick that way. Yeah, and I would be looking to lead clubs towards the dummy. Just finessing for the queen of clubs every time I was in the south hand. That's kind of my plan on that one. All right, we have 2 passes followed by, how many points is that? 18? Yup. So we have a diamond. North has 17 and a 2.5 diamond stoppers and a flat hand. The world's 2nd easiest ever 1 no trump overcall. Should go pass. The South should transfer to hearts. Type into the dialog box exclamation point H to show hearts. And I don't think the auction needs to get any more complicated than what is shown on your screen. I would, like in a vacuum, I'd probably lead the king of clubs. Here with all the points marked on my right, like I'm looking at 5, my partner opened, and there's 16 to 18 on my right and no game invitation on my left. It makes it a little less attractive to lead the king of clubs here. This is like what I'm picturing is if the ace is on my right, I just want the club. I want him to play the clubs and me to just score my king and my queen. This in combination with our little saying about you can never lose the postmortem if you lead partner suit has me leading a diamond. And I'm going to lead a small diamond from 3 here. Basically so that on the second round when I follow, my partner will be able to tell that I didn't have an original doubleton and like try and give me a ruff. So that's why I'm leading small here. If for some reason, like say partner had bid diamonds and I raised diamonds in the auction, if for some reason he knew that I had at least 3 diamonds, there's probably an argument for leading the 9 here so that he knows that I don't have anything in the suit, and he would never mistake the 9 as the top of a doubleton since I raised in the auction. So I actually got a question from patron Cindy Hinshaw about that yesterday. So this would actually be a situation where you could be using those types of agreements. All right, red on white, 7-5 shape. I believe it's fine to just bid 3 spades here. And I think that's what I did at the table. I toyed with bidding 4 spades, but I think I talked myself out of it. Yeah, I opened 3 spades. And it would go pass. And I think like red on white here, I thought my partner made a very thoughtful bid of 6 spades. Like picture your partner with king, jack, 7th of spades and a side card. It's very easy to picture him taking 7 spades and a couple of club ruffs in your hand, and maybe he's got a red king for an extra trick, or maybe he can set up the diamonds. There's a lot of paths to 12 tricks here. So just count these tricks again. Like give him king, jack, 7th of spades and a red king. That seems like a very likely type holding for a 3 spade red on white bid. Here it ends up turning out that he doesn't have extra high cards. He's just got that extra shape with 7-5. But again, like try the exercise of giving him a red king and king jack 7th of spades. That's 7 spades. The ace king of hearts is 9. The ace of diamonds is 10. And like if he had a tripleton club, he could ruff 2 clubs in the dummy for 12. If he had the king of diamonds, that goes a long way towards setting up the diamond suit for tricks. Even if he just has like a singleton diamond and the diamonds broke 4-3 in the opponent's hands, it would be pretty easy to set up you've got the entries to set up the diamond suit and get an extra trick that way. So yeah, it's too bad that 6 spades didn't work out here, because I thought my partner who's very green at playing tournament bridge, like we've screwed around a good bit, you know, on vacations and at home. Certainly years ago, we've messed around on bridge base, but I thought this was very good judgment to bid 6 spades here. And it's kind of too bad that it didn't end up working out. And if we look at the double dummy, you'll notice that anything other than under leading the ace of clubs will lead to the contract going down. So like, look at all the ways this could have made. You know, spades being 2-1, we probably would have had a shot at this. We've got 7 spades. We've got the ace of diamonds. We've got the ace of hearts. We have a couple of club ruffs. Actually, just we can't ruff more than 1 club without setting up a trump trick for the defense, it turns out. So the fact that the spades were 3-0 kind of scuttled our chances at making 6 spades. Doesn't mean it was a bad contract. Please don't get into contracts like this that were very well thought out, like very well imagined as to where the tricks might be coming from, and end up concluding like, oh, we did something wrong because the trumps were 3-0. Don't be results oriented. If you would have made 6 spades on a lot of different hands, like just kind of shrug it off as a little bit of bad luck and keep on doing the same thing the next time. Similarly, don't pat yourself on the back too hard for being in a grand slam that required 2 finesses that both happen to be there. It's a ridiculous situation to be in a 25% grand slam. So it cuts both ways. I'm definitely opening a spade on this hand. A lot of the reasoning on that is that I have all my high cards in my 5-card suit and my 4-card suit. In fact, like I wouldn't even blink to open 1 spade here. It just that's how natural this 1 spade opening seems to me. All right. what does North want to do? I think North has the goods to overcall 2 clubs here. 6-card suit goes a long way. It's got good texture, Queen Jack 10 9 7, and it's got 2 sure tricks on the outside with 6-4 shape. I think this is a 2-club call. East can bid 2 hearts. That's one of the 5 and dime bids. Promises at least 5 hearts and at least 10 points. South has no business ever entering this auction. 2 hearts should be forcing, so suppose West can just show a club stopper by bidding 2 no trump. Seems like maybe my other option is just to rebid my spades and kind of treat it like a 6-card suit since it's such a good 5-card suit. But I do have that club stopper, so partner might be interested in that piece of information. And it goes pass, and I think as East, I just go ahead and jam this in. I do have the king of spades. The ace of clubs is good in the sense that it's a stopper. It's not probably going to be building up a lot of tricks for our side, so I don't like it from that standpoint, but what are you going to do? And it looks like East-West is only going to be able to come to 8 tricks here. Looks like 5 spades, ace, king of clubs, and the king of diamonds is going to end up being in the right place. So I believe that 8 tricks is the limit. Let's check our handy dandy PDF. Yeah, East-West can make 2 no trump. And if we look at the score slip, two no trump making would have been 80%. Oh, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 2 no trump making East-West would have been 100%. Anything down 1 is going to be 35%. So another deal where it was pretty important that you go plus. And if we could look at all the hands, you know, obviously we would have wanted to stay in 2 no trump, but again, who knows? There could have easily been a 9th trick here. We do have an 11 count facing a partner who opened. I don't know. Maybe I'm even talking myself into passing 2 no trump here. Six, 10, 12, 13 opens for sure. It's balanced. It opens a heart. This is the type hand where if you were playing semi-forcing 1 no trump responses, you could pass on the rebid with North's hand. This is the very specific hand type, 5, 3, 3, 2 with minimum values. East has a 12 count, but nothing to overcall, so it just passes. South has what kind of looks like a point count trap, so it's 11 points. The loser count is 9. 2.5 spades, 1.5 hearts is 4, 2 clubs is 6, 3 diamonds is 9. So it might look a little funny to you, but I'm actually just going to bid a calm 2 hearts here. And it's going to go pass, pass, throw up by East. You know, you don't want to be letting them play 2 hearts here. I just can't stand passing. I think what I'm going to do is to balance with 2 spades, even on just 4 of them, and hope that my partner has some length and can rough some hearts with spades. My other option is to double, but like, you know what partner's going to do. Partner's going to end up bidding 3 diamonds, and I think I would rather just risk 2 spades. But I'm comfortable rejecting 2 hearts. Like, I know that I'm going to get a silly result, maybe if they let me play 2 spades and a 4-2 fit. But the thing is, like, you can't be scared of silly-looking results. You can't passively accept defeat, which is what passing 2 hearts is, because you're scared that your other alternatives might not work out. Like, it seems safe. Again, safe is a super funny word. It seems safe to pass 2 hearts because you're kind of like blameless. You're not going to do anything that ends up making you have egg on your face. But like, it's not my idea of winning strategy to passively accept 30% to save face. I'm just willing to look stupid. Let me tell you what, bidding 2 spades here is going to end up looking stupid. Yeah, South should be probably pretty tempted to just lay a penalty double on this. And that's what double would be here, right? Penalties. What else could it be? The North-South has already said we don't have a game. They've already discussed they have an 8-card heart fit. It can't be takeout. Like if we play the hand, we're playing hearts. I would double. And perhaps at this point, West runs to diamonds. I don't know. If East-West plays the hand, they're getting crushed in spades. It turns out that North-South can actually make 3 spades. And East-West, if they happen to run to diamonds and get doubled, looks like it's going for 100. This should be an interesting one to look at the score slip. If we are allowed to play hearts, and looks like we can make 3 according to double dummy. Looks like some people are making 2 hearts, some people are making 3 hearts. And, you know, if you allow them to play 2 hearts, look at what the average score is. 2 hearts was played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 4 times it got 75% of the match points. 1 time it got 40. That's an average of 68%. So again, to my point of 2 spades, like perhaps here it ends up looking dumb, but your alternative is to take a 32% on the board. And that's just, like, if it's more important to you not to look stupid than it is to win, like you're just playing the wrong game. All right. So harsh, y'all. All right, pass. 16 count with one of the shapes that you should consider for your balanced hand families. That is 6-3-2-2 with a 6-card minor. I would definitely open this hand, 1 no trump, and in fact did. With the West hand, I would be bidding, like if I'm playing don't, I would bid 2 hearts and have it be for the majors. If you're using Capoletti, it would be a 2 diamond bid. If you're using Meckwell, it would be double followed by 2 hearts. But with 5-4-3-1 shape, particularly white on red, I want to use whatever bid shows the majors here. All right, and now should North do anything extra? If I were North, I would want to be playing Lebensau, and I would want 3 diamonds by me to be constructive. Constructive means not forcing, but it's encouraging, and that seems about right here. If I were playing Lebensau 2 and I just wanted to compete to 3 diamonds, that's when I would use the 2 no trump bid first, which forces partner to bid 3 clubs. I'd come back with 3 diamonds on the back end. That's how I would show a strictly competitive 3 diamond bid that had no interest in going any further. And as South, like I'm done with this. I have almost half my hand tied up in the ace king of hearts. I only have 2 trumps for partner. King jack of clubs and jack of spades at this point are kind of looking like garbage. So I'm very comfortable passing 3 diamonds. And it looks like about 5 diamonds, 2 clubs, a couple of hearts. Our obvious losers are 2 spades and a heart. We can actually throw a heart and rough a heart. 2 spades and a diamond are the actually only losers I'm coming up with here. What board was this? 18. It says North-South can make 3 diamonds. And what would 110 be worth here? No, wait, did I look at the wrong hand? No. 18, other tables. 110 would be worth 65% of the match points here. Now, if you happen to ring out another over trick for 130, or the first over trick for 130, your score rockets up to 90%. All right, we have a pass, followed by a 1 diamond opening with West, followed by a pass, and then this just looks like 3 no trump to me. 13 to 15 with no 4-card major. I suppose you could be careful and bid an inverted minor first, but I think I just bid 3 no trump with this. And South looks like has a very easy fourth best heart opening. The defense is going to take the first 5 heart tricks for down 1. After that, East-West has plenty of tricks. I would expect 3-no down 1 is the mode result here. Let's see. My brother and I got a little bit unlucky because they did choose to use an inverted minor. I ended up overcalling hearts after that, and we talked them out of bidding 3-no trump down 1. All right, 3-no trump 1 is down 1 is indeed the mode on this hand. It happened at 5 of the 11 tables, and it's just a normal bad result, which smells about like 30%, and it was. All right. But being in 3-no trump here, I think is down 1 is just totally normal. But again, like when you're in totally normal spots and that happen to make or happen to be down 1, it's usually like average plus or average minus, even if you think it's the mode result. All right, we have 13 balanced, opens a diamond. As North, I would overcall 2 clubs here. It's a good suit. It's a 6-card suit. You have an ace on the outside, and the auction 1 diamond 2 clubs we've talked about before is particularly troublesome for the opening side because you've blocked both majors here, and you get them into weird like negative double auctions. The principle that's at work is the less information that East-West know about each other's hands, the more effective preempts are. And even though like 1 diamond is natural here, note that it would be far less effective to preempt one of a major opening because the opponents already have so much useful information, i.e. an opening hand with at least 5-card support. As we all know, like this game is about finding 8-card major fits. So when we overcall 1 diamond with 2 clubs, that has a more blocking deleterious effect on the opening side than say 1 heart 2 clubs would be. So the fact that I got a good suit, I got a 6th club, and I've got an auction type that proves to be a nuisance to the opening side, all are pointing me towards making this 2 club call rather than say passing. So I think East is going to make a negative double. South has a pretty good hand here, like a surprisingly good hand. I would Q-bid the opponent's suit to show a good hand with support from my partner. I think I've said my piece with West. And what is North going to do with this information? I guess like 2 hearts probably ought to show a heart stopper. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the path to 3-no trump pretty easily here. So I want to cooperate. And again, like the fact that I've got 10 high card points, I don't care. Like I've got 6 tricks in my hand with the king, queen, 6 of clubs, and the ace of hearts. And that's 2/3 of the way to 3-no trump, opposite a partner who said he has a good hand. And like I'm going to trust my partner on this auction. I'm not even listening to the opponents here. I know that my left-hand opponent has made a negative double in Swiss cheese here. It's just completely obvious. East can pass. He's already said his business. South could show a stopper in spades by bidding 2 spades. Why isn't this natural? Well, we could have bid 2 spades forcing the first time around, so this looks like we're groping for no trump. And a principle here is that if we're in one of these auctions, we're trying to get to no trump, and there are 2 suits that we're worried about. So the suits we're worried about at this point, spades and diamonds. When there are 2 suits that are missing like that, bidding one of the suits shows a stopper and implies that you don't have a stopper in the 4th suit. If there were only 1 suit that we were worried about, that's when like bidding their suit would ask for a stopper. So, you know, North kind of sees that we're drawing attention to the fact that we're off a diamond stopper. He says, look, I overcalled 2 clubs. I cooperate with 2 hearts. I don't have anything else to say. And that's probably where this auction would end. And let's see, back to the score slip. Always back to the score slip. 3 clubs making 3 here would be 55%. Making an over trick would be 70%. All right, 2 more boards. Pass, followed by pass, followed by 1 no trump because we have 15 balanced, followed by pass. You always pass with balanced hands. I don't care how many points you've got. Followed by probably just 3 no trump. You could make a super conservative invite, I guess. I guess I don't hate that, but also just betting 3 no trump seems normal. I'm leading a major against these auctions. I hate the fact that I've got 10 of the defense's points, which means that partner's probably sitting over there on, 4 or 5. That being said, I'm certainly leading a major, and I think I'm actually going to lead my heart suit here in the hopes of hitting partner's 5-card suit. One of the key things you're trying to do against 3 no trump is find your side's 5-card suit. So it's easy enough if it's in your hand and you're looking at it, but when you don't have your own 5-card suit, sometimes the game is to try and project what partner's most likely 5-card suit would be. Here it's definitely hearts, and I would be a 4 of hearts leader. Let's see what that's going to do. Looks like everything is making at this point. How would 600 do for the north-south pair here? 600 would do, other tables, 70%. Okay. You'll also notice that like getting a plus score was worth 20%. Being in diamonds was worth 30 or 40%, depending on whether you made an over trick. And then getting to the 3 no trump game is worth 70%. And if you are a little Lebowski urban achiever and take your 10th trick, that would be a top board instead of 70%. All right, last hurrah coming up. And I'm going to go over to Barbara Swiss and see if any of you guys wanted to play or if she needs a partner, because Speedy Swiss sounds fun at 1 o'clock. Play Barbara Swiss games. We want these to run. Swiss is fun. All right, pass. Not opening a weak 2 in second shared with a bad suit with a low offense to defense ratio. Not opening third share red on white. Definitely opening 17 balanced. 1 no trump. Not overcalling a no trump with a flat hand. Transferring to hearts. Exclamation point. Lowercase h. Maybe capital H would work also. Let's try that. Try capital H. Yay, it works too. Not doubling. I don't want that suit led. Completing the transfer. Pass. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8.5 losers. I think I'm just leaving this alone. I wouldn't quibble with a raise to 3 hearts invitational. And probably just done with the proceedings based on the vulnerability here. 2 hearts is going to score about 8 tricks, I think. Go to board 22. Yep, north-south can make 2 hearts. Looking at the score slip. Looking at the score slip, 4 hearts. We actually got to 4 hearts, went down one. It was still worth 50%, so 110 must have been worth a great deal. And 110 would have been worth like 65%, and 140 would be worth 80%. Notice too that like you don't have to be in a game here. If you're in 3 hearts making 4, it would have been a great score. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this bidding review of the hands from Tuesday night, March 16th. And yeah, hope you got something good. We'll talk to you again when new content drops on Friday. Thank you so much to all you guys who are supporting this endeavor. And again, like, word of mouth is tremendous for me. So if you're enjoying these, please tell your friends, hopefully who live in large communities of bridge players, and will tell their friends. All right, talk to you guys soon. Later on.